Hello, Northmont educators. My name is Mickey Corso. I'm the Chief Academic Officer of the Qualia Institute for Student Aspirations. As you're probably aware, the Northmont School District just wrapped up its second year of the three-year partnership between the Ohio Department of Education, the Qualia Institute for Student Aspirations, the Pearson Foundation, and your district. We were sharing at the final meeting of this year with the aspirations team something we call an odds analysis. It's a particular way of looking at data. And some of the people there thought it would be good to share more widely than the team. So I'm just going to walk you through this very quickly. It's fairly straightforward. It's just a different way we look at some of the data we've collected in your district from the My Voice survey. And we think of it as all things having to do with My Voice and aspirations as a way of connecting non-academic means to non-academic ends. You know our goal, the goal of this work is aspirations, helping students dream about the future and inspiring in the present to get there. You're also probably aware that there's two parts of that definition, dreaming and doing, and that the goal of aspirations work is to create students who are high dreaming and high doing. And I'll leave it to your team to explain any of these charts or graphs that we look at before the odds analysis to you as needed. So the goal is student aspirations. What we know from our research and the research of lots of other organizations is that there are three guiding principles that help bring about aspirations: self-worth, engagement, and purpose. And that, at least as far as our work goes, those three guiding principles are lived out through what we call the 8 conditions that make a difference. So self-worth is created through belonging, heroes, and a sense of accomplishment. Engagement is created through fun and excitement, curiosity and creativity, and spirit of adventure. That's just three common sense ways of saying affective, intellectual, and behavioral engagement. And then finally, purpose is created through leadership and responsibility and confidence to take action. What we did with the odds analysis was we looked a little more deeply into the issue of engagement. And we took the 1,256 students who took the My Voice survey at the high school level, and even though these results are about Northmont high school students, we do believe they apply to middle school students and even elementary school students in Northmont. What's unique about the analysis I'm about to show you is that it is based on your students. So it's not just some study that was conducted in Chicago or Montana somewhere, but these are high school students in Northmont who took the survey this year, and sort of a more scientific approach to the idea that there are non-academic means to academic ends. On a My Voice survey, there's a scale called academic motivation. Scales are basically items on a survey that add up in a student's head according to a set of research tools. That's what that alpha number there is. Alpha equals 0.85. A perfect alpha would be 1. You rarely see that. In the world of research, 0.7 or above means that the items in this scale add up in a student's head, that students who answer one of these items tend to answer the other items exactly the same way. So here we have a 4-item scale called academic motivation, which is comprised of getting good grades is important to me. I push myself to do better academically. I want to do my best at school, and I put forth my best effort at school. It's kind of the closest we can get on a My Voice survey to something academic. We do have other studies where we collect My Voice data and put it alongside a school's academic outcome data. Things like test scores, state test scores, discipline referrals, and we are in the process of conducting analyses like that in Northmont. But for now, with just the My Voice survey, we have the information right here that at Northmont High School, 80% of students say they are academically motivated, and 20% of students at Northmont High School say they are not particularly academically motivated. I'm not quite sure what the Northmont High School teachers make of that. All I can say is that in the students' minds in Northmont, 80% of them do believe they're academically motivated. We can look at that by grade level and gender. So we see a spike in the 11th grade for academic motivation, probably as students start to think more seriously about college. 76% of males at Northmont High School say they're academically motivated, and then about 10% more of females say they're academically motivated. I know when I was a high school teacher, this would have been great. I mean, I would have loved for my students to get all A's and B's, but I would have been satisfied if all of my students thought getting good grades was important in my class, and they pushed themselves to do better academically and put forth their best effort at school. So again, as far as measures on a My Voice survey are concerned, this is pretty good outcome. An odds analysis basically asks the question, what is the likelihood that if I do A, I will get B? What is the likelihood that if I do one thing, I'll get some other thing? So the thing we want to get is academic motivation. We want students to be academically motivated. And what this odds analysis in Northmont tells us is that if students have a future orientation, if they have a future orientation, if they're excited about their future and they believe setting high goals is important, that students in Northmont are 10.4 times more likely to be academically motivated than students who are not future-oriented. In Northmont, 88% of students report having a future orientation and 12% report just a low level of future orientation. But those students who are future-oriented in Northmont are 10.4 times more likely to be academically motivated. So that's how an odds analysis works. Basically, an odds analysis tells us that if academic motivation were a light bulb, and we're aware that academic motivation is not a switch that you can either flip on or flip off, that it kind of works on a dimmer switch, that I could be more and more and more academically motivated or less and less and less and less academically motivated. So if we imagine that academic motivation is a light bulb and future orientation is a dimmer switch, what the odds analysis tells us is that if we turn up future orientation one click, that academic motivation will go up 10.4 times. The light bulb will get 10 times brighter as a result of one click to the future orientation dial. It's pretty good bang for the buck. Relevance to my future. If school is preparing me well for my future, if what I learn in school will benefit my future, I am almost 9 times more likely to be academically motivated if I'm a Northmont student than if I see no relevance to my future and I'm a Northmont student. If I'm engaged in my classes, if I'm inspired to learn new things and enjoy learning new things, if I enjoy being at school, if I don't think school is boring and I enjoy participating in my classes, I will be 7.4 times more likely to be academically motivated than a student who is not engaged in this way. So again, if I turn this dial one notch, I get over a 7 times effect in the light bulb. Students are 7 times more likely to be academically motivated. If I experience the support of my teachers, there's a very high alpha on this scale because there's so many questions on a My Voice survey that have to do about relationship with teachers. So if I experience the support of my teachers, I am almost 6 times more likely to be academically motivated than someone who does not feel that support. If I am supported in developing my self-worth, if I believe in myself, I will be 4.3 times more likely to be academically motivated than a student who does not experience self-worth. If I experience peer support in my school, in the classes, if I believe students are supportive of each other and that they respect each other, I will be 4 times more likely, I'm a Northmont student, than a student who is not experiencing peer support to be academically motivated. And finally, if I see the relevance of school to my everyday life, my classes to my everyday life, I will be over 3 times more likely to be academically motivated. So again, this data is based on Northmont students, Northmont high school students. And I guess to get academic motivation, I could pep talk academic motivation. I could try and convince students that getting good grades is important and that they should push themselves to work hard academically and that they should do their best at school. And I might get a limited effect with that. I'd get almost nowhere with the 80% of students who already believe they're academically motivated. That's going to be, in their minds anyway, preaching to the choir. So I could pep talk academic motivation, Or I could try to make school relevant to a student's future or their present. I could make sure they understood that I support them and that I create a respectful peer environment. I could develop their self-worth. I could engage them. I could try and get them excited about their future. And I can trust the science behind this odds analysis that if I did any one of those things, I could increase the odds that a student will be academically motivated in my class to some degree or another. Again, most bang for the buck at the future orientation end, but even relevance to everyday life. If I make my math problems more relevant to everyday life, students in my class will be 3 times more likely to be academically motivated. This odds analysis, by the way, varies from school to school, from district to district. What's working most efficaciously for students in Northmont might be different than what's working for students in Youngstown or Akron or Ada or some of the other school districts we're working in. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about this odds analysis, you can contact me at corso@qisa.org. You can ask any member of your team about this odds analysis. We showed it to everybody again on this last visit just last week. And your school board actually has seen this odds analysis as a way of helping them understand what this effort in the district is all about. I hope you have a great summer, and I look forward to seeing you in year 3.